Welcome back to my channel, baddies. I'm really excited to be back for another fun video. I'm gonna have to tell you that this is probably my favorite cup I've made this entire year. It is absolutely stunning. You've already seen it, obviously, because by this point I've already posted it everywhere, but I'm super excited to show you how I made it and have some fun with you. So thanks for coming back to watch yet another video. And I do want to tell you guys before I post this video, I know that my bundles sell out very quickly, but I want to explain to you that my bundle has lots of different items in it that you can also buy separately. So when the bundle says sold out, that could just mean that somebody bought like all the decals of one style, but everything else in the bundle is still available. Like all the vinyl is probably still available and all of the glitter. So if you go to my website and the bundle says it's sold out, do not get discouraged. That could simply mean that one of the items in the bundle sold out, but browse through all the new arrivals because you can buy everything in the bundle individually. So I really just wanted to say that when it says the bundle is sold out, it doesn't necessarily mean the entire thing is sold out. You can still grab most of the items, but you have to buy them separately. So with that being said, make sure you use code YouTube so you can save 10% on your order, because trust me, you're going to want all the stuff I'm going to use in this video. It is to die for. Besitos. Hello, my beautiful, precious baddies. Thanks for coming back. Today, we're going to make a really fun cup. Even as I was editing this video and looking back at it, I was like, oh yeah. All right, so I want to talk to you guys about Freebie Tuesday. Every single Tuesday, I give a free gift to anyone who places an order on Tuesdays. This was the freebie this past Tuesday, so make sure you set your alarm for next week because you don't want to miss out next week's freebie. Now, let's get into the collection that we're going to be using today. This is my Grinchmas collection. It did drop today in a bundle. Now, I will say, as of this morning, the bundles sold out. They sold out very fast. However, I still have most of this vinyl and UVDTFs on my website. So please do not think because the bundle is sold out that you cannot still get these Grinch vinyls and these glitters and a lot of these decals, because they are all still on my website. So you're still able to recreate this tumbler. It's just you won't be able to buy it in a bundle. You'll have to buy all of the pieces separately. But anyway, make sure you use discount code YouTube so you can save 10% and use that 10% for Mofongo. So these decals that you see me showing here, these are not part of my bundle. These are just UVDTFs that I dropped this week. So if you go on the website, you can grab any of those. Everything that I showed you at the beginning of the video is all bundled up in my Grinchmas, but like I said, it can all be purchased separately on my website. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create my sections using painter's tape. This is usually how I do these like sectioned out cups that I do is I figure out like which sections I want to put vinyl in, which sections I want to put glitter in, and then I just kind of create my little dividers using painter's tape. I also used washi tape so that I could create these smaller lines and break up those 1-inch lines and just kind of create more balance and like different areas. I have double-sided tape, so I figured if I use that like little skinny washi tape to create a little line, I could do double-sided tape over it and do a little strip of pretty green glitter. So that's what I'm doing there. And then I know in the center is where I wanted to put my glitter. I'm so excited about this cup. I'm going to keep it. I know, baddies, I'm sorry. I know. It's just, it has to be my Christmas cup. I'm too in love with it. I cannot part ways with it. Anyway, so what I'm going to do after I have sectioned off all the areas where I know I want to put my vinyl and glitter, I'm going to go ahead and start glittering. Now, you baddies already know I'm about to sound like a broken record because I tell you this every single time, but I will always, until the end of time, prep my tumbler white before I go in with my base color. I will always do that. That is just going to make your color pop a lot more bright. I feel like we learned this in kindergarten, didn't we? Maybe we did. I don't know. I don't remember. But you just get a much better result if you start with a white base. However, I am not the white paint police. I'm also not the tumbler police. So if you don't do this, that's completely okay, because guess what? There are so many different techniques and so many different ways for us to make tumblers. And just because we do them differently doesn't mean we're both not going to end up with gorgeous tumblers. At the end of the day, it's the end game that matters. And it doesn't matter if we all have techniques or different ways that we do it. I'm sorry, I'm out of shape. You hear how many deep breaths I'm having to take in between this voiceover? Excuse me? All right, now once I have my white base on and once it's dry, I'm going to go ahead and go in with the 3 colors that I want to ombre. I thought it would be really cool to do a vertical ombre versus a horizontal ombre, which is what I always do. So that's why I'm doing the ombre up and down. And I'm actually really glad I did it this way. I think I'm going to try to do ombres this way a lot more often because I thought it looked really cutesy, very demure, very mindful. So I don't know, if you feel like you want to make a cup and you just kind of want to switch it up a little bit, do a vertical ombre instead of a horizontal ombre. I felt a little rebellious. I was like, ooh, look at me going against the current. I'm just kidding. Anyway, whenever you are blending 2 colors together to create an ombre, you're going to get the easiest result and you're going to get the best result if you use wet paint. If you use wet paint to create that beautiful ombre in the middle, you're going to end up with a gorgeous result. I'm just kidding. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but anytime I use wet paint, it works for me. So I hope it works for you. All right, now, while my paint dries, I am going to do a very lazy way of cutting my vinyl. I know you baddies already know. I am not a fan of Cricut. Sorry, Cricut. I hate their operating system. I hate the way they walk, I'm just kidding. But, it's just not my favorite thing. So I will always avoid firing up my Cricut at all cost. So what I'm doing is, since I used this painter's tape as my spacers, I'm going to go ahead and flip my vinyl upside down, lay down these 1-inch pieces of tape, and then I'm just going to use my ruler and an X-Acto knife to cut them. And now I have the perfect size vinyl strip to go in my sections that I created, and I never had to open my design space. I never had to fire up my Cricut, which sounds like a dying coyote while it's cutting. I am so annoying. Anyway, it's a nice little hack if you ever want to cut vinyl and you don't want to have to fire up your Cricut or turn it on or whatever the case may be. If your neighborhood is asleep and you don't want to wake up the whole street cutting with your Cricut. Okay, I'm done with the Cricut slander. I'm done. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my amazingly accurate strips that I cut with my own hands, and I'm going to go ahead and start applying them in the sections where I want them to go. And baddies, the sky is not even the limit for you, okay? You could end up in outer space. You can end up in the galaxy up there with the Guardians of the Galaxy, because that's how amazing you are. And don't you dare look at me and tell me that you're not amazing. Let's normalize being confident, loving ourselves, and hyping ourselves up. Wake up in the mirror and say, everything always works out in my favor. I have amazing energy and I attract people with amazing energy into my life. God is blessing me. My business is going to thrive. I have an abundance of love and health. You have to look into the mirror and you have to say all of those things. I know it's cheesy, but I do it all the time. Anyway, I just really want to see you all be super confident and know that you're amazing and believe in yourself, because you know what? Once you get to that level, when you see yourself in a different light, nothing that anyone can say or do to you is ever going to make you doubt how amazing you are. All right, baddies. So I used my edging tool to remove a little bit of the vinyl from the bottom. I also do that at the rim. Now I'm going to take a flat edge screwdriver and a hammer. Now you want to be careful with this. Make sure that you have your tumbler on a very sturdy tabletop, and you want to hold your hammer. You want to hold your screwdriver and with your pinky kind of also grip the side of the cup just to steady it. And it only takes for you to slant that screwdriver slightly and hit it with the hammer a few times, and the lid pops right off. I thought it was going to be a lot harder to pop the lid off than it was. It was super easy. Just please be careful. Please be careful when you're doing that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm using Mod Podge to apply my glitter ombre over my painted base. And like I said before, I was super excited because I'm doing a vertical ombre versus the ombres that I always do, which are the horizontal ones. And like I said, I'm kind of digging this. Okay? I think I'm going to stick to this kind of ombre a lot more often from now on. But I thought these colors looked really well together. Now, the collection has 6 glitters in it, but of course, there's not enough room for me to have done a 6 color ombre. So I just chose the colors that spoke to me the most, and I did my little ombre, and I'm super obsessed. I cannot wait to see what you guys do with this collection. I can't wait to see how you guys use the vinyl and how you arrange it and all that stuff, because there's so much that you can do. All right, now that double-sided tape that you see me doing, it's the exact size of that little strip that I did. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my double-sided tape over that area, which by the way, I did go in and paint it green because I always like my base to match my glitter. And then once I have my double-sided tape in both sections, I'm going to remove that white backing, and then I'm going to go in with Grinchmas. Honestly, if you had to ask me if I have a favorite glitter of this entire collection, I love them all. However, Grinchmas stands out the most to me. It is like a holographic, high reflective glitter, and it's probably one of the most beautiful greens I've ever seen in my life. This video does it zero justice, and you'll see that once you receive it in the mail. I'm super obsessed with it. I do want to be honest though. I'm an honest girly because Jesus is always watching me, okay? This glitter goes everywhere. It's going to go up your nose. It's going to get into your mouth, into your eyelashes, your eyeballs. It'll somehow end up on your breakfast plate. I mean, it goes airborne and it goes everywhere. Okay, so good luck. Good luck. But it's worth it because it's very beautiful. Anyway, once I was done glittering all my sections, I sealed it 3 times using Mod Podge acrylic sealer spray, and I went ahead and went in with 40 mLs of Flynn Sister Supply Shop artist gear, and this epoxy, it's the best. Okay, I know Jessica is my best friend, but do not let that fool you. I literally don't know how else to explain it to you other than you just have to use this epoxy for yourself and then come back and tell me what you think. Buy yourself a small amount if you want to, but I promise you the epoxy speaks for itself. It's so good. It's so good. It's like water. It's crystal clear, okay? All right, now I'm going to take my sanding block, and there's just a few little bumps and stuff here and there from like maybe a little piece of glitter sticking up or a little piece of vinyl or whatnot. So I just went ahead and sanded a little bit so I could have a perfectly smooth surface. And then I went in with my vinyl. Okay. Well, actually, this is washi tape. I'm using washi tape. Sometimes washi tape can be a little translucent, so I like to go around twice. I like to loop my washi tape around once, and then I like to go right over it again just to give it more of a more vibrant look, if you will. And then I'm also a very huge fan of using nail tape. Little strips of nail tape. They're just so beautiful and so sparkly and holographic-y, and they just add such a nice touch. So for example, these sections that you saw me doing where I did the washi tape, what I'm going to do is after I place my washi tape, I'm going to go in and do a very thin piece of nail tape. I'm going to be using a holographic green, and it just gives it so much dimension to layer vinyl like that. I just love the way that it looks. And I decided to switch it up and do different color washi tape here and there just to create so much for the eye to look at, right? Like I did want it to be color coordinated and everything, but I almost didn't want it to be too matchy-matchy. I wanted you to be able to look everywhere and have something different to look at. Now, the real showstopper of this tumbler is the strips, okay? The pinstripes. Those are the showstopper. Oh my gosh, they turned out so cute, and they're actually not that hard to apply. I know that the first thing you would think is, wait a minute, but UVDTFs are permanent, so how am I going to be able to align this and without messing up? If you wrap your, pinstripe, UVDTF pinstripe with the backing still on it, it allows you to pull up and stretch and maneuver as much as you can. I literally did not struggle at all. And I'm going to show you here a little bit closer. Now, I know that you can't tell, but the clear backing is still on the UVDTF, because if I was using the UVDTF by itself and if I was to pull and stretch really tight, I probably would break that UVDTF in half. You do need to be cautious, but you have a little bit more leeway when you keep the backing on it. Now, as you see here, I'm pulling the backing up so that when I layer my piece on top, I don't do it over the backing of the tail. I don't know. I feel like I just completely lost you, but somehow I feel like you know what I'm talking about. All right, now I went ahead and I added my UVDTF decal. Listen, I don't know that I'll ever cut decals with a Cricut again, honestly, because you can get full color with UVDTFs and they're permanent and they're easy to apply. I mean, what more do you want out of life? Beautiful. And yes, you can use sticker paper and print decals, but something about these UVDTFs, they are just brighter than my future. They're so vibrant. You cannot go wrong, okay? Now, aside from the pinstripes, this was my second favorite. These are also pinstripes that I designed. They are strips of Christmas lights. And don't worry, baddies, if by any chance you go on my website after this video and it says that these are sold out, do not be sad. I will restock them on Tuesday. Every single Tuesday is Freebie Tuesday. It's the perfect day to shop because not only do I release restocks that day, but I also give you a free gift. And I promise you, you always get either a decal and a glitter combo, or you get a vinyl and a decal combo, or a glitter and a vinyl. I mean, my freebies they're popping, okay? You're gonna get a good freebie, and you get to shop the restocks. So if you go on my website after this video to go buy the vinyl and the glitter and the UVDTFs, and you're like, man, those pinstripes were sold out, do not worry. I already know that those are gonna be very popular because they're super cute, and I know that everybody's gonna want them. So I will be restocking those on Tuesday. So you don't have to wait very long. Today's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 4 days. 4 days is all you have to wait to be able to order them. So do not be sad if they are already gone, okay? I got you, baddies. I got you. I promise. Anyway, so I just kind of followed a little swirl pattern here with my UVDTF Christmas lights. And let me tell you, I just kind of felt like it was that last little detail that the cup needed. Not to mention, aside from all the goodness that is on this cup, we did a glitter butt. So the bottom is just as, oh my gosh, I love this cup so much. I want to eat it. Oh my gosh. Now I am going to be using Mod Podge to seal all my washi tape and everything. You don't need to seal UVDTFs, but they're on the cup. So I'm just going to seal the whole thing because I have so much washi tape and holographic nail tape, and epoxy can repel that. So if you just use a thin coat of Mod Podge all over your tumbler and let it fully dry, it'll dry completely clear. And when you go in with your epoxy, I promise it will not show. So once we let that completely dry, we're going to go ahead and move to the bottom part of our tumbler. Now we're going to be using UV resin, but of course you can use facet if you want to, or regular epoxy, but gosh, that would just take so long. You'd have to wait so long for it to get hard and fully dry. So we're going to use UV resin and take a little bit of time off of this design, okay? So I did Grinchmas because, like I said, I think that's my favorite glitter of the entire collection. And I took a little silicone little measuring cup, and I was able to squeeze the tip to get a little bit more like of a precise spout thingy. And then I just went and I did this beautiful green on the outer edge. Now, all I'm doing here is I am trying to fill in that gap, right? I'm trying to fill in those gaps with glitter, and I'm going to do a different color in the middle. I would recommend sticking to like a fine or ultra fine glitter for your outer edge because there's not a lot of room in there, and you definitely don't want chunky glitters poking up, right? So once I do that, I go ahead and I cure it for 90 seconds. And then I went ahead and I came back and I did pink glitter in the center. This pink glitter is also from this collection. And already I'm loving that I kept true to the theme, which is kind of like a pink and green vibe. And I went ahead and I carried that down to the bottom of the tumbler. And if you have not already guessed it, yes, I've officially found my new addiction, which is glittering cup butts. And I do have some Grinch polymer shape clay, and you can use these for snow globes, for Milky Ways, for keychains. I mean, look at the way that I'm putting them at the bottom of my cup. Man, I really feel like these little Grinches just kind of threw that final touch that my cup really needed. And I mean, if you flip that cup upside down, it's beautiful anywhere that you look at it, it is beautiful. So what I did is I went ahead and I placed them where I thought they looked good. And then I just took one coat of clear UV resin with nothing in it. And I just put that over the entire bottom of the cup to make it flush so that it's, you know, now it's not like indented. Now it's completely flush and filled. And then once I cured this and popped my bubbles, I went ahead and added my final coat of epoxy to this tumbler. If you stuck out all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much for hanging out, baddies. You have no idea how much your support means to me. I would have never even started a YouTube channel in the first place if it wasn't for you. So the fact that you continue to show up for me, it does not go unnoticed, and it just makes me feel really appreciated because I do put in a lot of hours into YouTube, especially now that I run a business from home. It's hard to do both, but you make it worth it, baddies. You make the long hours worth it because you're always so appreciative and kind in your comment section. So thank you so much. You know, please let me know what you thought of this video. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you would like to see me do next. I do want to tell you that I'm going to practice how to do a snow globe bottom. So I will definitely come back to you with a YouTube video. And this concludes our tutorial. Here's our finished tumbler. It is insanely beautiful. It's probably what I'm going to be using from now until next year. I hope that you had a lot of fun watching this. Until next time, I'll see you next week for another fun video. And don't forget that you're amazing. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not. Mwah! Besitos!